you talked about the 5 levels of knowledge in terms of understanding. That means you said observation, meditation, contemplation, inspiration, and revelation. How can a person differentiate between these levels of knowledge?
So, let me put it very simple and straight for you. Let me make it easy for the audience. The day you are born, like, what is the first thing you learn to do? Whatever you learn, in fact, whatever you learn from your family, whatever is around you, what do you do with it? You observe it.
Just look at things.
Can a baby directly go into a state of meditation? No. Can a newborn contemplate? Can a newborn get inspiration from something? No. The first thing a human being learn is to observe. So now observation is the way, it's the category of observing, having knowledge in terms of understanding. Whatever you understand is through observation. Now the mediums can be different. You can observe at your school, you can observe at your home, you can observe around your room, you can observe while you are playing with your baby friends. Wherever you are, the only way you understand things and learn things is observation. So this is the first level a human learns in terms of getting knowledge.
There's different ways of observing things. For example, some people, they rely more on the physical side of things. They like to play with things. Some people, they like to look at other things. Some people, they like.
Well, it can be different from individual to individual, as I say, but the jinx is that they observe. Some people are good at visual observation. Some people are good at observing things while doing it practically. So the methods can be different, but at the end of the day, what are they doing? They're observing.
Observing and copying.
Yes. They observe, they put it in their mind, in their memory, in their brain, and they realize. Now, once you grow up, you have a lot of observation in your database. You start to realize certain things. You start to get focused on certain things. That is where you start meditating. Meditation is a term generally nowadays used for healing purposes and all those kind of things. No, but it has a wider perspective to it. Meditation is something when you start focusing in your mind. If I have learned mathematics in a very good way and when I'm alone, I start focusing on mathematics and I try to explore new horizons, new ways of looking at certain things which are already established. Now I have started meditating on mathematics.
So is this different or is this the same thing as people do? They sit down, they meditate.
That is one way of meditation, which is being practiced like a ritual, like a skill, or like a healing therapy. Yeah. That is one way of meditating. Like I said, meditation can be anything which you focus in your mind. Or let's say we don't use the term meditation. Anything you start focusing in your mind with keen observation is called meditation nowadays.
Internal thinking.
Yes.
Is a part of meditation.
Internal focused thinking, to be very precise. So once you are through observation, now once you are at the any other level than observation, you are like at the second level or third level, doesn't mean your observation stops. There are different aspects of life. So you have been observing at one aspect of life, and you have gained so much that you have started meditating at that aspect of life. But at the same time, other aspects of life are still at the phase of observation in your personality. So this is multi-dimensional growth knowledge curve which moves up according with the passage of time.
So okay, let's say, can meditation, for example, if someone is meditating, can they come up with new ideas that they haven't observed before?
Well, this is also subjective. Now, if a person, like I just gave you the example, if someone is is good at mathematics and he has been observing it very in a keen way, and like no other people are observing it, and if I start finding out new solutions to the same problems in mathematics, means I have been meditating on it. I have been very keen and focused on that subject. But it doesn't mean that if I have started meditating on mathematics, I'll be good at physics as well. These are two different aspects of it.
But is there a chance that if someone meditates, they can find out something without observing it first?
No. You cannot meditate unless you have observed something or you are very keenly focused onto it. If, for example, if I tell you, Khurram, start keeping your mind focused, keep your eyes closed and start focusing on a blank screen, a black void screen, what will you get out of it?
Something inside the screen. Not a
The
complete
the
void.
screen will stay blank as long as you are focusing on a blank screen. You're meditating, but unless you observe something, that screen will not be filled. Now, if I tell you that you have that blank screen in your mind and put a human being into it, when can you put a human being into it? If you haven't seen a human in your entire life, will you be able to put a human being into that picture? No.
No.
So, hence proof that to come up to the level of meditation, you have to have an observation. So something has to be there to be cultivated in your
So
mind.
you can just jump to meditation
Yes.
from this bit.
Obviously, when we say that these are levels of knowledge, then that means that you grow into these levels, you evolve up to these levels. But as you achieve higher levels, doesn't mean that the lower levels vanishes or it disintegrate or it doesn't,
They still
exist
form the
anymore.
foundation.
Yeah, yeah, they're still up there. It's like building up on it. So if I'm good at one thing in terms of observation, meditation, and let's say I've started contemplating on it, on that aspect of life,
The third level.
then doesn't mean that I'm good at all the aspects of life. This is what life is all about. This is what experiential knowledge is all about. This is what evolution is all about. This is what conscious evolution is all about.
Right. So looking at contemplation and meditation, don't these two sound similar?
Well,
or different?
apparently yes, but if we draw a thin line, if we go into details the way we are going right now, so we can see that contemplating is something more than meditation. When you start manipulating, contemplating ideas, or let's say your observation, your focused observation, and like I said, when you start finding solutions to the same problems in a different way, this is where you start to contemplate. Your focus, intent, your thought when you are meditating goes so much further that you literally make that focus, that intent of yours, the entire picture of your
So you're
consciousness.
devising new ideas.
Yes.
Like Newton. Or just
Yeah.
laws of gravity.
Gravity was always there, but nobody focused and observed or meditated or contemplated on it like Newton did. So he came up with the idea that this force exists, and now hence I'm giving it a name, and I have observed it.
And
I
I
have,
have to describe it with these mathematical.
and I'm going to bring this into the consideration of other human beings. What he did was basically he observed something, he meditated on it, and then he contemplated on it, and then he came up with the idea of law of gravity.
Okay. And the next level, inspiration.
Well, you see, like the way we are going through these levels, if you have a focused observation, you have started meditating on that focused area, you have started contemplating on it, you have started taking new aspects of the same thing into consideration like no other human beings have, then you start getting inspiration out of it. Then these things, this idea of yours, this contemplated idea of yours will motivate you to come out and give this to the world, to be inspired and inspire others as well. Or at the other level, if I have something in my mind which I have been focusing on, which I have been meditating on, which I have been contemplating on, have started inspiring me. Like we observe human beings, great human beings who have been serving humanity. We see them doing
That
all
process
these.
starts with a seed.
Yes.
With this inspiration, it grows.
We observe them, we like them, we think about them, and then we get inspired, we get motivated so much that we start getting inspiration from them that I want to be the same, I want to be like him, I want to do the same thing. This inspiration is when someone's thought or your thought makes you move physically in the world, makes you do something, makes you move towards that goal. That is inspiration. Basically, inspiration is picking the least third level, 3 levels, that is observation, meditation, contemplation, and getting something physical or let's say concrete out of it, getting results out of it, making it a vision, So this is where you get inspiration.
So, can observation lead to inspiration directly?
Every observation should lead to ultimately should lead to inspiration, provided it gets cultivated in this manner. Majority of the time what happens is that people observes anything and they lose their interest on that, on that thing.
Or they get lost in the excitement.
Yes.
They can't think about it.
Yes, and if someone is having an observation, let's say, and he or she moves up to the second level of that aspect, let's say starts meditating on it, look at around you, the entire world, the maximum thing people are doing is meditation. There are very few people who hardly contemplate onto the ideas. They are, and those
even fewer who
yes,
are inspired.
inspired, and those who do are on your fingertips. You can count them off. All the greats. Doesn't matter. Let it be the sports industry, let it be a scientist, let it be a philosopher, let it be a spiritual person, let it be a religious scholar. Anybody who has done any difference to the society, who has brought any change, any growth, any evolution to the society, are the people who have reached to the level of inspiration.
Like spiritual people, they get inspired by their mentors.
Now,
scientists get inspired by something they see.
now there is a huge debate or discussion all over the world right now. There's a huge rift between science and religion nowadays. What they don't understand is, if you look through the entire world through this process of understanding, you have seen that there have been more religious prophets and personalities in the history, and in every religion you find such personalities who we follow. Like, for example, Jesus Christ and Prophet Muhammad. What were those people? They were kind of human beings who have ultimately achieved that fifth level of revelation. When you achieve that level of understanding,
after inspiration comes revelation.
yes, once you
the final level.
Yes, once you have achieved that level of level of understanding, that is called revelation, the universal laws are revealed to you. The universal understanding comes to you. Or in spiritual term, we call such a person as a universal consciousness holder.
Inspiration, revelation. So is this like you're receiving something, or just like a receiver?
Well, that is also very subjective and debatable. If we look at it from scientific aspect, or let's say we talk about Maslow's hierarchy of need, such is a person who is at the height of self-actualization. And what is beyond self-actualization? Imagine if a person has achieved that level of self-actualization and gone beyond that. What will happen with that person? That person will become a self-less, self-realized, self-actualized, creative person. Whatever he will intend, will be able to do. Obviously, keeping the physical laws, scientific laws intact.
Laws of ego.
So the prophets or the great religious leaders were kind of the people who were revealed with these levels of understanding.
They were selfless.
Obviously, they were grand consciousness, they were universal consciousness. So self is a very small thing in front of that concept. So once you become a universal mind, once you become universal consciousness, you obviously, a lot of things will get revealed to you which a normal human being cannot even grasp, cannot even think of. So that is the level of understanding we're talking about. So all the divine books, what are they? They are universal truths. For example, every religion teaches you that you should not lie to anyone. You should not be bad to anybody. You should not hurt anyone's feeling. Yes. So every religion has these universal truths.
Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal.
So what are these universal truths? They are ever living universal truths. They are universal truths. That's why they are called universal truths. From the day one up till eternity, they will be there. They will stay, and they were revealed to these kind of personalities we call prophets and great human beings. So why were they revealed with these truths? That is also debatable. Were they revealed or did they realize it? Either way. So once they achieved that level of consciousness, that level of understanding of knowledge, they started getting revelations. So we call it divine revelation. Obviously, whatever the system is, whatever the universal design is, that design starts revealing those kind of people the great truths of eternity, of ever living.
So ultimately, what really matters is the revelation.
Well, I won't say what really matters. That is the level.
The grand scheme of things.
That is the level a human should ultimately achieve or should try to achieve. Doesn't matter where you end up. But this is the ladder of understanding philosophically a human being goes through, should go through, or if he or she doesn't even know, will go through unconsciously.
So if someone is at the revelation stage, do they still need to observe things, or is this like a direct thing? It just comes innately, like instinct or something?
I can't say much about it because there are two reasons. First, I have to be at that level to speak what is the feeling over there, what is the level of understanding. All I can say is through my understanding of knowledge, these are the 5 aspects of understanding, 5 levels of understanding. Secondly, if I say something, then will it be true or not? That is also debatable, because if I am not at that level of understanding, then how can I tell about it? But that is for sure. Once you achieve that level, we have seen, we have observed human beings in the history of mankind who have achieved this level of understanding. It's called revelation, and it is achievable by human beings.
So I was thinking that we can divide these levels into 3 stages. I think, based on what I think it's. The first is thinking, what you think something is, what you perceive something is. The second is knowing, that you know something. And the second is being. Instead of just thinking about it, you become the thing you're thinking about. And that's the fifth
Yes,
and final.
we can always look into the same aspect to different
Because then there's no
dimensions.
doubt, because you are part of the process.
You see, Khurram, the entire purpose of existence of, I'm not talking about anything, the entire purpose of existence of human beings on this planet Earth is what we are talking about right now.
Self-realization
Self-realization, thinking, knowing and being.
and evolving.
And evolving. And in the past, a lot of humans have displayed this trait and have proven this level of understanding. And there you go, we have scientific evolution, we have philosophical evolution, we have religious evolution, we have spiritual evolution. So it's been there in the past. Nowadays, our level of understanding has been so subsided, so shallowed, that we only stick to the level of observation. We hardly observe things around us, or let's say we observe and we hardly go to the second level, that is meditate. And we have confined the term meditation to a very limited aspect, that we only practice it as a skill, we only practice it as a therapy of spiritual or let's say physical healing, or getting peace of mind. But meditation is something you do on daily basis, or meditation is something you're prone to do whenever you have a focused thinking, or whenever you have a focused thinking. Yes, every human does it.
And even these 5 stages, most people don't do them, I'd say, thoroughly. They, let's say they do, for example, if I'm a person who's a scientist, I'll only think about the material laws, the physical laws. If I'm a clergyman, all I'll think about is how does this relate to my religious book. If I'm a spiritualist, all I'll think about is the spirit, nothing about the material.
Well, let me tell you one thing. If I start hitting a nail with a shoe, or let's say if I start hitting a nail with my hand, what will happen? My hand will get hurt. My hand is not designed to hit a nail. What do I need for it? A hammer. Similarly, if we start solving scientific problems through religion, or we start solving religious problems through science, we'll mess up. And we have messed up big time.
When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah. So if I am a religious minded person, everything looks religious to me. If I am a scientific minded person, everything looks scientific to me.
Let's do that.
And if I try to solve the problems with either way, I will end up nowhere. We have to put religion at its place. We have to put science at its place. We have to put spirituality at its place, and then rationally think about solutions. Now, I won't say since it's achievable, but revelation is a very higher level of understanding. As I said, we are only stuck up with observation and meditation. What we need to do? First, we need to understand these levels of understanding, and we need to move ahead. Whatever aspect of life you're living in, you need to observe, you need to meditate, you need to contemplate. And please let me correct myself, when I use the word meditation, it's no way considered, or I am trying to point out the meditation which is being now practiced nowadays. As I said it clearly, this is one aspect of doing meditation.
One small aspect.
Very small aspect. This is not the entire meditation we are talking about. Meditation is anything with a focused intent. You can do it for a second, it can last for hours. For example, you like listening songs while you're alone, you're listening song and you're into your imagination. Basically, you're meditating. So once you start imagining, or let's say meditating to a level that you start creating your own videos for the song. You're contemplating. And once and after doing this for a long time, you got inspired that you are now actually gonna make a music video for yourself. Now this is inspiration. And revelation is something when you start getting your own lyrics, your video ideas, new ideas, and you start teaching people about music what they haven't known before. That's a revelation to you. So it has been there. It has been there in the entire history.
People have to go through these 5 levels and across 4
This is how we have been evolving. This is how
4 domains of knowledge. We'll include that in the next video.